Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the first video for today. Today, I'm going to be doing my 2022 governor election prediction. The midterms are, of course, tomorrow, and we'll most likely find out the results of the midterm elections tomorrow, hopefully, tomorrow night or early, very, very early in the morning on Wednesday. But I'll be starting off with my governor election prediction. Another video that'll be coming out later will be a Senate election prediction intertwined with a House election prediction. And I have yet to decide what I'll be doing tomorrow, if I'll be doing anything. The videos I will be making will be, of course, projections that I make discussing the winners of the races, because we'll find out. I'll be making projections. It'll be a projection. Ron Johnson's won the state of Wisconsin. Dr. Oz has won Pennsylvania. Mark Kelly has won Arizona. Those would be sorts of projections. Now, I'm not saying that's what will happen, but those would be examples of the videos that I would be making, unless if I made something earlier in the day. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into our governor election predictions. Total of 36 governorships are up for re-election this year, in this year of 2022, and let's get right into it. Actually, before I begin, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are 79 subscribers away from 700 subscribers, so please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody who subscribes to the channel, and yeah, that's really it. Thank you. Let's get into the safe Democrat states. This first safe Democrat state will be the state of California. Second off would be the state of Hawaii. Then the state of Vermont will be a safe Actually, not Vermont. What am I saying? Vermont is a safe Republican state. We've yet to get to that. The state of Massachusetts will be a safe Democrat state. Let's just take a look really at the RCP governor map, which helps understand characterizations. Obviously, the state of Maryland with Westmore, my home state, will be a safe Democrat state. Really, no chance for the Republican. And I'll also classify the state of Rhode Island as a safe Democrat state. The remaining states won't be safe. Republican safe states include Idaho, Wyoming, of course. You have South Dakota, Nebraska. Arkansas will be a safe Democrat state. Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina. Of course, the state of Vermont and the state of New Hampshire. With Chris Sununu, he's been leading significantly in the polls. He's performed very well there. In previous years, he's up for re-election every 2 years. Average right now, he's up 16.7, but go back to 2018 or to 2020, really, he won by 31 points. 2022 is expected a red wave year. I think he'll significantly outperform the polls that show him where he's at the moment. Anyway, let's get into our likely Democrat states, I assume, unless if I missed out any. I guess you could, say that Ohio will be a safe Republican. I'll put that in the likely section. Mike DeWine, of course, will probably win that, but we'll get to that afterwards. Likely Democrat will be Jared Polis in Colorado, very popular there. The state of Connecticut, J.B. Pritzker in Illinois will be the safe Democrat states. No more, actually. Let's see, maybe the state of Maine. No, I mean, it's considered a toss-up, but it is significantly favored for the Democrat Janet Mills. She's up in the polls anywhere from 5 to 10 points. 2018, she won by 7.6. So you could expect it to narrow up to a lean margin. I won't characterize it yet, so we'll leave the rest of it out. Likely Republican states will be Kevin Stitt in the state of Oklahoma, the state of, what are we looking at now? The state of Iowa with Kim Reynolds, the state of Ohio with Mike DeWine. All will be likely Republican states. And of course, the state of Florida with Ron DeSantis, the state of Georgia with Brian Kemp. All of those, Brian Kemp especially, has been leading Stacey Abrams by almost double digits in the polls when we look at it. Georgia is technically characterized a lean state, but likely characterizations for me are anywhere from 8 to 15 points. I have Kemp up 8 points here. Kemp will most likely win by a likely margin, as well as DeSantis is performing well, but this election maybe not too important for him because he's already really got this in the bag. What's going to matter for him is the day after the election, because the 2024 campaign begins exactly the day after. Oh, and I forgot John Cornyn in the state of Texas will, of course, be a likely Republican state. Another lean Democrat state will be the state of Maine, with, of course, Janet Still. I believe that's Janet Mills. What am I saying? Mispronounced her name. Kathy Hochul in the state of New York. I do believe that Attorney General Josh Shapiro in Pennsylvania will beat Judge Mastriano by a lean margin. Republicans are going to really have to hope for a miracle in the state of Pennsylvania, excuse me, if they want to win there, because that's going to be an incredibly tough race for them to win. The Senate race, definitely much more of a chance. In the state of New Mexico, Governor Lou and Grisham Lujan Grisham, Michelle Lujan Grisham, I don't know how to pronounce her name, is up in the polls. She'll end up winning by about 4-ish points. I really think the RCP average hits it correctly against Mark Roshanetti. And that's really all that I have for the lean Democrat states. I suppose you could say that Tim Walz would be a lean Democrat. I'll put it just for the sake of the scenario. But I, of course, I'm going to leave Michigan and Wisconsin out. The two Rust Belt states that would be lean for me would be Minnesota and Pennsylvania. Josh Beer running a very good campaign against Doug Mastriano. Alaska, have I just completely forgotten about Alaska? Yeah, that would be a likely Republican state. Going into the lean Republican states, the actual lean Republican states. State of Kansas, I do believe the Democrat governor will be unseated. The state of Nevada, the state of Arizona with Kari Lake. All of those would be considered lean Republican states in my mind. And then we head into our tilt races. So I believe that there's going to be that Oregon will tilt in favor of the Republican. You see that the race is incredibly close, that there's an independent on the ballot, which is shifting a lot of points away from the Democrat. Right now in the RCP average, it's a tie because of the new poll from Emerson with Kotek up 5. But even the Data for Progress poll, which is a Democrat pollster, had Drozen up 1. I think she'll end up narrowly winning the Republican, although that's going to be an incredibly close race. But Johnson is actually funded by some Democrats that are upset with the current governor, Kate Brown, but Drozen, who was or Kotek, which was the expected opponent, which is, of course, siphoning 10% of the vote away, 12% of the vote from the Democrat, and that's significantly hurting them there. Another tilt Republican state will be the state of Wisconsin. Tony Evers, I do believe, will lose that race in Wisconsin, and the Republican will narrowly win. In the final state, Gretchen Whitmer, I believe she's going to narrowly hang on in Michigan, keeping the state of Michigan in the governorship. She's been up about 4 points in the polls. I think that she's going to maintain a very small victory. I think the polls are overestimating her support in Michigan, but I do think she'll end up still narrowly winning the race in Michigan. So anyway, that's really my Senate election prediction. Not much more to talk about the governor election prediction. Not much more to talk about the Senate election prediction is going to be the one in my mind that's the most interesting. The governors, of course, many interesting governors races. I would especially keep an eye out in New York with Kathy Hochul. I would keep an eye out in Oregon. Two very interesting states that you're going to see surprises. And Vermont would be, a surprise, but Phil Scott's already very popular there. It's not going to be anything specific. And then other big states for Republicans and Democrats, Arizona with Kari Lake, that's going to be a very big election. Gretchen Whitmer's election will be big. But I would take a look at Michigan, New York, Oregon, and Arizona. Those would be my 4 states to watch on election night. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Tell me in the comments below your thoughts on my election prediction. What would you keep the same? What would you change? And yeah, like the video and have a great day. Thank you for watching.